Alright, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. Today I've got a story time for you guys about somebody's mom falling down the wrong path, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's right, a fallen Jedi moving over to the dark side. Today I'm going to be telling the story time about how this dude's mom ended up becoming a Karen. Yeah, that's right, boys. I'm pretty sure it's everyone's biggest fear. It should be a pretty fun video, though, so before we get into it, be sure to press the like button or no joke, no scam. Your mom's gonna become a Karen, and yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it.
The sun's down and I'm feeling it right, so tell me, little mama, what you doing tonight? You know I'm trying to hit it, I'm not being polite.
Alright, so I think everybody has had a situation where their mom has embarrassed them in public. You know, that comes with the territory of just being a kid. Chances are your parents are gonna say and do stuff that's gonna make you be like, Mom, please stop doing this. And usually the stuff that parents do to be embarrassing is in the realm of, like, actually not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like, your mom wipes some schmutz off your face or whatever in front of some people. It's embarrassing in the moment, but no one's actually gonna, like, hate you for that. I do think things are a little bit different, though, when, like, your mom becomes the Karen. The person who sent me in this story said that there was a very, very long period of time where, like, their mom was not a Karen. They don't remember constantly having a fear everywhere they went that they were gonna, like, pop off on the manager or whatever worker was dealing with them. But I guess ever since this COVID thing started, their mom has become a Karen. Which has got to be, like, the worst timing ever, bro. I feel like most people, you know, when the pandemic happened, they were like, we got to come together and be nicer to people. We're all going through this together. This kid's mom was like, hell nah. The rest of the world's opening on hardcore difficulty, then it's going to be my job to make my personality everyone's problem. Apparently, his mom, just in the span of, like, the last year, has gone from the type of person who would never yell at customer service to, like, being emboldened behind her mask to yell at them for literally everything, even if it's not their fault. The highlights of just some of the embarrassing moments that this guy has been through because his mom is just losing it is pretty funny. He said one time they were at Target and they were looking for some cereal. I'm going to use Cinnamon Toast Crunch. They were on the look for some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He didn't say what type of cereal it is, but I do feel like that does influence the story. I can understand how somebody might lose their marbles for a little bit of some Captain Crunch. But whatever, they were looking, and for whatever reason, they just couldn't find any of this Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So she ended up asking a worker, like, if they had anywhere else that it could be. And when the worker was like, hey, I'm sorry, I actually think that we're out of Cinnamon Toast Crunch right now because there was a spot on the shelf where it was supposed to be and it was just out. The mom, instead of doing one of the like, darn, you guys are out of stock, there sure is nothing you could do, which is the only logical thing to do. Like, it's not their fault that they are out of this particular cereal. She started going in on the poor worker that just so happened to be unfortunate enough to be standing there dealing with this situation. Like, when this guy said, no, we actually don't have Cinnamon Toast Crunch, she started asking him as if he knew, as the worker, like when they were going to get another shipment and how unprofessional it was to talk to a customer unless you could solve their problem. Which is just not true. I think it's unprofessional to ignore customers. Could you imagine that? Like, he was just walking past the cereal aisle. They tried to stop him for help. He just throws up the hand. He's like, listen here, you stupid idiots, okay? I can't talk to you unless I can solve your problem. I wouldn't want to be unprofessional. So she's yelling at this guy for simply not being able to poof this cereal into existence. And this kid is super embarrassed by this, right? So he puts his head in his hoodie to, like, hide his head and keep it down because he just is not vibing with the fact that his mom is freaking out on this dude in the middle of a Target. But the mom, for whatever reason, when she looks over and see this kid hiding in his hoodie, she doesn't assume that he's embarrassed and hiding from her, you know, that screaming at the minimum wage worker, maybe making her son be like, Mom, please stop. No, she then starts going in on this Target worker for, like, embarrassing her son and, you know, making him afraid to be seen in public with her because somehow it was the Target worker's fault she had popped off. Like, oh my gosh, look at what you made me do. You made me start acting crazy and now my son's embarrassed to be around me. Like, oh my gosh, she now is blaming Target for making her son embarrassed to be around her. And I promise you, all you parents out there, if you ever look back while you're shopping and your kid is mortified and embarrassed, it's not because of the store. It's probably because something you're doing. So this kid obviously is just like, please get me out of here. I am not mad at this Target worker. This is awful. So finally, the employee just asked to go check in the back, and they ended up having some back there. But that situation is when this kid realized, like, oh my god, my mom has become a Karen. She is no longer like the nice lady she used to be, because she just started popping off on this poor guy for no reason. And ever since then, he's just been paying, I guess, a little bit closer attention to the Karen behavior. Like, it wasn't like he was ever cool with letting it slide, but until he really noticed that it was what she was doing, he wasn't, like, looking for it every day. Every time they'd go somewhere, it wasn't what they were looking for. But once he started looking for it, he realized that his mom was just in full Karen mode, bro. Anywhere they went, she had to have a complaint. Like, he literally noticed that there was a 6-month stretch where everywhere they went, she had to talk to the manager for some reason, which is pretty crazy. Like, I'm not saying every now and then something's not gonna happen that's gonna make you talk to the manager, but he started paying attention, and everywhere they went for 6 months, she would find a reason to, like, talk to the manager or complain about something. And you know you're a Karen if you get to that point, bro. Like, if you can't even make a simple Subway sandwich run without having to contact, you know, the owner of the Subway and ask him why his employees are such idiots they can't make a sandwich, you might be the problem, because I don't feel like everything is that bad. You gotta just be looking for the bad and stuff to want to complain about everything for 6 months, bro. Like, excuse me, can I please talk to the manager of this gas station? I'll have you know that your gas pumps were not very swag. So this is going on, bro. She's just always causing these problems. But what really made it come to a head, and the only reason that this get made into a video, is this next story time about how she made her son have to, like, embarrass her in front of everybody because she just wouldn't stop acting crazy entitled. Alright, guys, so this actually all goes down over a parking space, which I think honestly might be one of the dumbest things to fight of, especially because apparently when they got to this parking lot originally, it was empty. Like, there was no reason for his mom to do that. Anyways, she was following this one guy who was driving to park in the same parking lot as them, and I guess he ended up taking this spot that the mom had mentally marked as hers. Like, in her head, it was her spot already. So when he pulled into it, dude, the mom was just having none of it. He was in front of her in line, and the person who sent me this says 100% there were more parking spots. Like, to this day, he really doesn't know why his mom decided to go this route. It was just the hard way. She picked it. But instead of just going and parking in literally any of the other parking lot spots all around the parking lot, the mom pulls in behind this poor guy who is parked there and just starts honking her horn, rolls down her window, and is screaming at him about how, like, he's bullying a poor defenseless mother by stealing her parking spot. And the dude is just like, what are you talking about? He is 50 shades of confused. He takes off his sunglasses and is like looking at the car like, huh? And she's like, I was gonna park there, da-da-da-da-da. And the guy does what was supposed to be the reasonable answer and goes, well, you know, I've parked there. I'm sorry, you can park somewhere else. There's literally a parking spot right next to me. And the mom, for whatever reason, when the guy is like, no, I'm not gonna move my car so you can have the parking spot that my car is already in. You would have thought he just said that her grandma had chlamydia, bro. That she got around town and her granddad could have been one of any of the 87 men in the area, dog. She just starts going crazy, asking him who he thinks he is to be taking people's parking spots and whatnot. And honestly, that was the wrong question. What you should have been asking is who you think you were to be able to be telling people to, like, move their car so you can have the spot. It's just not that deep, dude. So she starts kind of going at him, being like, oh, well, how dare you, da-da-da-da-da. And the guy, who has been nice up to this point, flips his switch and just decides to start giving Karen a taste of her medicine. So he starts kind of being like, wow, are you really gonna throw a temper tantrum over a parking spot? Like, are you kidding me right now? Are you literally gonna start screaming and freaking out over a parking spot? And when he does that and starts pointing out how ridiculous she is, she does what most people who are being ridiculous do when somebody points it out, and doubles down. So she starts being like, I'm not being ridiculous. You're the one who's out here stealing parking spaces. You should be ashamed of yourself. And then she starts trying to get her son involved. And he was doing the same thing he did last time, where he's just kind of like hiding his face because he realizes his mom is in the wrong and there's just nothing he could really do about it. But she starts being like, even my son knows that you're an idiot for doing what you did. Everybody knows that that was my parking spot. That's just etiquette. And at this point, the kid is like, Mom, I'm not backing you up. Stop bringing me up. So he looks at his mom and he goes, "Mom, just let him have the parking space. He was in front of us." Like, this mom who had thought her son was just about to back her up looks at him and is just, the face of betrayal. The fact that her son had just said, "just move the car," was insane to her. And she looks at her son and is like, "Excuse me, what did you just say, young man?" And he's like, "Dude, just move the car. This guy was here first. I don't know why you're making this an argument. There's plenty of other parking spots. Just move the car." Alright guys, I'm going to interrupt the video for 1 second. On screen now is actually a PlayStation gift card. I give away a gift card in every video here on this channel as a way to just say thank you to everyone who's subscribed with notifications on. So if you're not subscribed with notifications, you might as well. I literally give away free money and you got nothing to lose, so press that button and ring the bell. If you are already subscribed with notifications on, I just wanted to let you know that I do really appreciate it. It's your guys' support that makes the channel go round, and yeah, whoever got the gift card, I really hope you enjoy it, and I'll shut up and get back to the story time. So the mom looks at the son after he's like simply explaining the fact that she is being unreasonable and is like, "Why are you betraying your mother right now?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And she starts saying how it's one of the duties of a son to like have his mom's back, and you know, it's really bad for him to disagree with his parents, which is super culty to me, dude. I don't care how long you've raised me. If you're being reckless and crazy, I'm gonna tell you you're being reckless and crazy. Just because you raised me doesn't mean you can do no wrong, especially when you're yelling at the poor guy. And when she starts kind of yelling at her son, the guy who's standing there arguing with her is like, "Aw, come on, the kid is just saying to move the car." And the mom is like, "Shut up, you have no part of this," and looks back at her son and says, "Really, if you think he's justified to take this parking spot, then why don't you just go ahead and explain to me why you think that? Because if you want me to be honest, it seems like this is a load of crap." And so the son is like, "All right, gladly." And he starts explaining that they were behind the guy in the other car, which means he was ahead of them in line. So it was kind of their fault for assuming that he wasn't going to take whatever parking spot they wanted because they were behind him. Like, there was no way for the guy to know that she wanted the parking spot. And the mom's rebuttal is that the guy in the other car should have known because she was following him super closely, which meant that she wanted the parking spot. Like, this lady is just straight up in the wrong. There is no logical reason for her to be fighting with this random dude over this parking spot. So the mom is kind of like sitting there just refusing to move her car at this point. She's like, "No, I'm not moving till he moves his car." And the guy's response is to not move his car, which is the right way to do it. You never want to give the Karen what you want. He just goes in the store, bro. Like, he goes into what they were waiting for and just leaves. And the mom decides that she's gonna die on this hill, so she puts the car in park and is like, "No, we're not moving." And the son is like, "Mom, you're telling me that we drove all the way here and now we're just gonna sit in the parking lot because somebody took your parking spot?" And she starts trying to tell him about how it's the principle and he'll understand when he's older and all this stuff. And he looked at his mom and was like, "Mom, honestly, I don't know what's gotten into you, but you are a Karen now." And apparently when he called her a Karen, she was pissed. She's like, "Don't you dare call me that. Everything I get upset about makes sense. Like, don't you dare say that I'm getting mad for no reason and making me sound crazy." Even though she was getting mad for no reason. There's no making you sound crazy when you just are crazy. And I'm not even saying that, like, she's evil, bro. I just think saying that, you know, your son has no reason to be right whatsoever when you literally just tried to like stage a sit-in, a park-in in the middle of a parking lot because somebody took your parking space. After like 20 minutes of pouting though, she ended up driving away and finding a new parking spot. So I guess it really wasn't that important to her if she was willing to, you know, not actually care about it. She did end up leaving and giving the guy the parking spot, so it couldn't have been that important. Realistically though, that was the moment that this guy realized that his mom was completely gone to the dark side of the Karen when she was just fighting random dudes over parking spots that she didn't own. Anyways, guys, I think that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you taking just a quick second to press the like button and comment down below. It really does help the videos do better, and I would appreciate it. Other than that, I do have a podcast called The Scuffed Cast. You can find a link to that channel down in the description. Feel free to go check it out, and there's also a link to the intro song you can find down below. If you feel like giving it a listen, it does help me out, and I would appreciate it. And the last link you're gonna find down there is a link to the merch store. If you feel like getting some merch, it's pretty swag-tastic if you ask me, but I am pretty biased. And yeah, on that note, guys, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. Hopefully, I will see you guys all next time with another video. I'm gonna go 1v1 my grandma now, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.